Hi everyone, this is Sarah with Safe Haven of Greater Waterbury, and today we're going to be reading the book Penguin Problems by Jory John. This is a book that teaches children about gratitude, or the concept of being thankful or appreciative for the people, the experiences, and things that you have in your life. This book is great for students in first grade, second grade, and third grade to begin learning about the concept of gratitude. Let's begin. It's way too early. My beak is cold. What's with all the squawking, you guys? And, in case you don't know, squawking is how penguins talk to each other. It snowed some more last night, and I don't even like snow. It's too bright out here. I want to pause for a minute and point out that our penguin friend here is complaining about all the snow where he lives. We know that most penguins live in places where it's very cold and there's lots of snow. But he's also complaining when the sun comes out and it's bright. I'm hungry. I'd like a fish. Where are all the fish? Hey, fish, get out here. The ocean smells too salty today. We know that oceans are made of salt water. So he's complaining about the ocean just being the way that the ocean is. I'm not buoyant enough. If you don't know what the word buoyant means, that means that you can float. So he says, I'm not buoyant enough. I sink like a dumb rock. What I would like to point out to you now is that our friend here is complaining that he sinks in the water. But he wants to be sinking in the water. He wants to go down into the water to get those fish because he's hungry. It's way too dark down here. Brr. I said brr. Oh, great, an orca. Oh, great, a leopard seal. Oh, great, a shark. What is it with this place? We know that all of these different animals live in the ocean, right? And we know that if he's trying to get a fish and he has to go in the water, he's probably going to see all of these animals, right? I don't like being hunted. I'm still hungry, but my flippers ache. I waddle too much. I look silly when I waddle. See? Now we know that penguins waddle because that's just the way they walk. That's like you and I complaining about the way we walk. But it's just the way we are, right? I wish I could fly, but I can't. See? We know that penguins are birds who cannot fly. But penguins can do a lot of really amazing things. Penguins are birds who can swim underwater. Not every bird can swim underwater. Penguins are birds who can live in extremely cold places, and not every bird can live in extremely cold places like penguins. There are a lot of really amazing things about penguins, but he's just focusing on this one thing that he can't do. Everybody looks the same as me. I look the same as everybody else. Now, we know that there are all different kinds of penguins. There are emperor penguins, and there are macaroni penguins, and there are little blue penguins. There's so many different kinds of penguins. And each kind of penguin looks exactly alike. All of the emperor penguins look the same. All of the macaroni penguins look the same. All of the little blue penguins look the same. It's just the way they're made. It's just the way they were born. And he's complaining about just the way he looks. Now, this next page is a little confusing, so I want you to follow my finger as I'm reading it. It's kind of designed like a comic book. Ready? So, our friend walks up to this penguin, and he says, "Mom?" And this penguin says, "I literally have no idea who you are." Then he walks up to this other penguin, and he says, "Dad?" And this penguin says, "I literally have no idea what you're talking about. My name is Mortimer." This page is to show us that penguins look so much alike that he can't even tell who his mom and dad are. I have so many problems, and nobody even cares. So now, we see a walrus. And the walrus comes up to our penguin friend and taps him on the shoulder and says, "Excuse me, sir." And our penguin is surprised and says, "What?" "Good afternoon. I sense that today has been difficult, but lo, look around you, penguin. Have you noticed the way the mountains are reflected in the ocean like a painting? Have you gazed upon the blue of that cloudless winter sky, my friend? Have you felt the sun as it gently warms your back? Have you simply stood with your penguin brothers and sisters and elders who adore you? Yes, some things are challenging out here. Yes, we all have difficult moments, from the walruses to the polar bears, from the whales to the penguins. But hear me now, my new friend. I wouldn't trade my life for any other, and I am quite sure you wouldn't either. I am certain that when you think about it, you'll realize that you are exactly where you need to be. Please think about what I've said, penguin. Goodbye for now." That walrus gave a really long speech with some big words in it. So, we're going to talk about what the walrus said. Basically, the walrus came over and he said, "Listen, I know you've had a really rough day, but have you noticed all of the wonderful things that are around you? You live in a really beautiful place that has mountains that look like a painting and this big, clear, beautiful sky. Have you felt how great it feels when you're cold and you stand in the sun and it warms you up a little bit? Have you noticed all of your family members around you who love you so much? Yes, of course, there are things in our lives that are hard and challenging to deal with, but there's also a lot of really great things, and it's important that we think about those things and appreciate them for what they are." That's what the walrus said. Who the heck was that guy? Why do strangers always talk to me? Walruses don't understand penguin problems. Okay. Maybe that walrus has a point. After all, I do love the mountains. And the ocean. And the sky. And I have friends and family. This is my only home, and this is my only life. Maybe things will work out after all. My beak is cold. It gets dark way too early. The end. In our book, we followed our penguin friend who talked about a lot of the things in his life that were challenging. And he didn't really pay attention to all of the things that he had that were really, really wonderful. Then he met a walrus who came and talked to him about paying attention to the things in his life that are really great, that he can be thankful for, like the place where he lives, having friends and family around, all kinds of things. When we practice gratitude or being thankful, it helps us to focus and appreciate on the things that are great in our lives. The walrus is absolutely right. We all have things in our lives that are difficult and challenging and might make us feel sad or lonely or upset, but there's also lots of good. Practicing gratitude has been found to be really helpful in improving our moods, so making us feel happier, reducing stress and anxiety, and helping us even to sleep better. There's a lot of benefits to practicing gratitude, and a really easy way to practice gratitude is to share with someone who's sitting with you watching this video about something that you feel grateful or thankful for. So, after we finish the video, take a minute and think of 3 things that you feel grateful for and share it with your brother or sister or your cousin or the grown-up who's at home with you right now. Try practicing this activity once a day and see how it changes the way that you feel. Thank you so much for joining us today, and stay tuned for more videos from Safe Haven.